Hi, I'm Keith. The definition of the word resurgence is an increase or revival after a period of little activity, popularity, or occurrence. That's resurgence. Now, in the movie Independence Day Resurgence, there's been little activity because it's been 20 years since the original, so they decided, they being the powers that be, that it was time to bring back an Independence Day movie. I think they could have waited a little longer. This movie is very loud. There's a lot of explosions. There's a lot of crazy things happening. But when you put it all together, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So let's go back to the original Independence Day, which crushed the box office at the time. It came out, of course, it was about an alien invasion. These aliens and these, and when I say alien invasion, I don't mean JoJo from The Bachelorette. I mean like legitimate aliens were coming in. They were, destroying different places on Earth, and it was up to Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum to save the day. And of course, they did. There were a lot of casualties, but at the end of it, the human race came together and said, you know what, it doesn't matter what country you're part of, we all have to work together. And 20 years later, there's this utopian, feeling where everybody gets along, everybody, works together in harmony, and it's wonderful. But wouldn't you know, the aliens are coming back. They're coming back bigger, stronger than ever. So when you have bigger, stronger than ever aliens, you would think that you would need a bigger, stronger than ever script to support it, because the challenge of the sequel is always to be as good as, if not better than, the original. Not the case with this movie. This movie is much worse than the original and not nearly as entertaining. Part of the reason for that is the fact that they tried to pretty much carbon copy the original. You're watching this movie and you're thinking to yourself, I don't necessarily know if I need to worry about any of the major characters in this movie dying. I don't know if I need to feel that anything really bad is going to happen. I found the aliens in the first movie a lot scarier. I found the aliens in the first movie a lot more intimidating, whereas these ones just seem to be more cartoonish characters. Now, there's a lot of things that this movie does great. It's directed by Roland Emmerich, and Dean Devlin's hanging around the set as one of the writers and producers. And when these two men get together, things blow up. We saw it in 2012. We saw it in the last, The Day After Tomorrow. Of course, we saw it in Godzilla, and of course, we saw it in the last Independence Day. The cinematography and the special effects that these gentlemen bring to their movies is second to none. You see phenomenal effects, and seeing this movie in IMAX as I did this evening, it's loud, it's in your face, things are getting blown up, and that's all well and good. The acting in this movie is okay. You've got Jeff Goldblum who delivers one-liners like nobody's business, and he's great. A lot of the original characters were back as well. A new surprise, which I really enjoyed, was Celia Ward, who played the President of the United States. Celia Ward, let me just take a minute and talk about Celia Ward for a second if I can. Emmy Award-winning actress. She's been on, a huge list of great television shows over time. And I will also tell you, as she gets ready to turn 60 years old, I think she might be part black, because Celia Ward don't crack. You look at this woman, she's just very, very striking. And I go on about Celia Ward because I need to say nice things about this movie. Unfortunately, Celia Ward's agent wasn't as sharp as Will Smith's agent, who read the script and said, don't think we want to do this. Because even though it was great seeing Celia Ward in this movie, great seeing her as the President of the United States, the movie itself really let her and the rest of us down with its poor writing. The effects are fantastic, but the writing is silly. There are so many one-liners that are delivered in this movie that just don't work. The last movie, Independence Day, of course, came out and was a big focus on the 4th of July. Other than a couple of really silly lines that you've already seen in the trailer, there's nothing in this movie that really has a huge significance to Independence Day. There's no, great Americana. There's none of that. It's just basically, hey, all of a sudden, one day out of the blue, aliens are coming and they're attacking. Liam Hemsworth's in this movie, so the ladies will probably like that. Just like some men just might like the fact that Celia Ward's in it. And also one of the best Brie Larson lookalikes is in this movie. an actress by the name of, wait for it, Micah Monroe. So Micah Monroe really reminded me of Brie Larson from Room, and it's unfortunate that I wasn't watching Room, because at least then Jacob Tremblay would be in there saying, I want to go back to Room, and that would have been fun. But I'm watching this movie and I'm thinking, I want to go back to the first Independence Day. But unfortunately, I was stuck in the sequel. This movie should make a lot of money at the box office. Hopefully it will. Apparently it cost $200 million to make. Apparently all of that was put into special effects, not into script. But at the end of the day, it's an entertaining movie to watch, but it's just not a great movie. I give this movie a C+. If you're going to see it, if there's a cheap night you can do, I would recommend that. But I don't necessarily think you need to run right out and see it. I think there's a lot of other great things that are playing in the cinemas right now. And I don't think at the end of the summer this is going to be a box office champion. I could be wrong, but I just don't think so. Coming out of the movie, I don't think there was one person that was doing cartwheels being like, oh my gosh, this was fantastic. People were basically, meh. And that's my take on this movie. If you end up seeing Independence Day Resurgence, let me know what you think. CFL_fan is how you can reach me on Twitter. Facebook.com/WhittyWhittier is the website. And of course, WhittyWhittier.com is the other website, because I just love giving out website information. So follow me, like me, share me, do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, do not rush out to see this movie, because it is so not worth it. As always, I really appreciate you taking the last few minutes of your life to sit down and watch this. If you did it with loved ones, even better. And if you have other movies that you want me to review for you, please let me know. And until next time, my name is Keith, and I'll see you at the movies.